Hello, my name is Courtney Seiberling. I am the author of Yogas, Yamas, and Niyamas, 10 Principles for Peace and Purpose. And what follows is a physical practice of one of these principles. So if you like what you experienced or are interested in learning more about these principles and yoga philosophy, you can buy my book on Amazon. Namaste. Hello. Today we're going to do a Brahmacharya practice, which translates as moderation. So we're really going to think about our energy. We're going to really give a lot of energy to the more challenging postures, really allow ourselves to relax on the relaxing postures, and just bring a lot of awareness to how and what we give our energy to. So for today's practice, you're going to want one block and you're going to want a blanket, so something that you can sit up on. Go ahead and place your palms down on your thighs, lift your heart, close your eyes. And just go ahead and take a little survey of where you're at. So noticing if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling energized, just acknowledging where you are in your day and in your body. And Brahmacharya really helps us to not overextend ourselves and to not get too lazy. So this is a great practice to really kind of figure out how to use your energy appropriately. So noticing where you are, starting to bring some awareness to your breathing. Noticing how the inhales energize your seat, your shape, and how your exhales release some tension, allowing the moment to go. And then go ahead and flutter your eyes open. Take a soft gaze at the floor in front of you. And we're just going to connect breath with movement. So you're going to place your hands to the outsides of your hips, gazing at one point, and on your inhale, send your arms up and overhead. And on your exhales, palms down to the mat. A couple more like that. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, fingertips down. Inhale, lift it up. And then exhale the fingertips down. Go ahead and roll yourself forward to hands and knees. So you're welcome to leave the blanket underneath your knees. Or if you don't need it, you can put it to the side. So spreading your fingers really wide, knees stacked underneath the hips. On your next inhale, belly drops, heart shines. Exhale, pressing into the knuckles, rounding in the upper back. Cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Last one. Coming to a neutral spine, we're going to move into a shoulder opener. So you're going to inhale to lift your right arm out to the side, and then you're going to thread the right arm underneath the left. And then the right cheek will either come down to a mat or you'll put your block underneath your cheek. Pressing into your left hand, into your fingers. Lifting your heart to the sky, gazing at one point. Breathing some space in that upper right shoulder. And then your next inhale, you'll press yourself up and you'll switch it to the other side. So inhaling to lift the left arm out to the side, threading the left hand underneath the right arm. Left cheek comes down to the mat or block, pressing into the right hand. Gazing at one point. And then pressing into that right hand, Replacing the left hand underneath you. We're gonna come to lay on our back. So you're gonna take the blanket out from underneath you. And we're really gonna start to amp up the practice now. So if you've noticed that you're starting to feel really tired or that you're acknowledging that you're tired, you're just gonna keep your knees hugging into your chest. And you're just gonna rest there. Or if you know you wanna amp up your practice and come to some movement, some belly work, your feet are gonna come as an extension of your knees. You're gonna cradle the back of your head with your hands. And instead of kind of jerking your neck up, think about lifting your heart up, and the hands are resting into the pillow that you've created with the hands. And we're gonna come into some Yogi Bicycles. So you're gonna extend your left leg long, and then you're gonna take your left elbow and reach towards your right knee. And then coming back to center, and then extending the right leg, and then extending the right elbow towards the left knee. So we're gonna stay in about a minute of this, and you're gonna start to really acknowledge and monitor your energy. So if you're feeling really good and vibrant today, you'll keep moving through your bicycles, or you'll find moments where you need to take a little break and you'll just rest your head down and you'll take a break. So 1 minute here. Making sure that you're moving with the breath. So inhaling and exhaling. Remembering to take breaks or moments of pause when you need them today. Couple more each side. Well, if you're noticing any tension in the low back, make sure that you're pressing your belly into the mat. So pressing the belly down towards the floor. And then after this last little turn, coming back to center, placing your feet onto the mat, let your head come down. We're gonna set it up for a bridge pose. So this should feel good after that belly work. So option with the bridge. You can either come right up into your bridge, so pressing down into your heels, lifting up with the thighs, maybe taking a clasp of the hands and tucking your shoulders. Or if you're feeling spent or you wanna take some rest, you're gonna place the block underneath your sacrum, so right where your pant line is, and you're gonna come to rest on your block. So if you're in your bridge, releasing down to the mat, and then you'll press into your heels, lift up with your thighs, and you'll come into one more bridge. Or you take rest like I am and just let your hips sink down into the mat or down into your block. If you're in your bridge, releasing your hips down to the mat. For those of you who have the block, pressing into your heels, lifting your hips up and releasing the block. Go ahead and hug your knees into your chest, and we're just gonna take little circles. So massaging out the low back, little circles to the right, and then little circles to the left. And then we're gonna rock and roll up and down the spine. So a couple rocks, couple rolls. And then we'll come forward, back again to hands and knees. So coming to hands and knees, you're gonna stack your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips, and then we're gonna come in for our first plank pose. So pressing down into the knuckles, heels reaching to the back of the room, belly pulling up into the low back. And if this is too much too soon, or you're just tired today, you can place your knees down onto the mat and still stay working with this pressing down to lift up. Or your plank, couple more nice big deep breaths, sending all your energy here. Feeling yourself alive and vibrant in this shape. And then pressing into your knuckles, lifting the hips up to the sky for your downward facing dog. Maybe starting to pedal the heels out, seeing what's going on in the backs of the legs today, what you're working with. And then looking in between your hands, stepping your feet there for a forward fold, little bend in the knees, letting your head go. Maybe shaking your head yes and no. And then pressing down into your feet, start to roll yourself up to stand. Beautiful. Bring your hands to heart center. And we'll come in for a flow here. So taking the feet together. So we're going to come into some movement. If at any point you feel like you're getting tired or you just need to take rest, you come down into your child's pose. So on your next inhale, we're going to bend the knees and send the arms up and overhead. And then we'll exhale to forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands come down, step it back for plank pose. And then the hips come right into your downward facing dog. Inhale to lift the right foot. Exhale, right foot steps where the right hand is. Back foot spins flat, 45-degree angle, setting it up for your warrior one. Exhale, hands come down, framing the right foot. Right foot comes back to meet left, and then hips come to the sky for downward facing dog. Other side, inhale to lift the left foot. Exhale, left foot steps where the left hand is. Spinning the back foot flat, lifting yourself up, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down. Left foot steps back to meet the right, and then downward facing dog. So 5 breaths here, or you come into your child's pose. So knees wide as the mat, big toes come together to touch, forehead reaching to the mat. So taking that option at any point if you need rest, or your resting pose can be your downward facing dog. Few more breaths here. Looking in between your hands, go ahead and step your feet. Stay in your child's pose if you need more rest. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Feet come together, coming into our chair pose. Inhale it up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down, stepping it back, plank pose to your downward facing dog. Inhale, your right foot lifts. Exhale, right foot steps where the right hand is, back foot spins flat. Inhale it up, warrior one. Exhale it down, plank pose, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left foot lifts. Left foot steps, warrior one on the left. Exhale, hands come down, plank pose to your downward facing dog. So taking a moment to check in. So do you need to rest and take care of yourself? Or do you need to push yourself a little? Are you being a little too lazy? Is that your kind of natural state? So using the practice on the mat as a practice for our life. On your next inhale, looking in between your hands, we're going to come in for one more flow, lifting your heart. Exhale, forward fold, feet come together, last flow, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands come down, stepping it back for your plank to your downward facing dog. Right foot lifts on the inhale, right foot steps on the exhale, back foot spins flat, warrior one on the right. Breath with movement. Exhale, hands down, plank pose. Hips to sky, downward facing dog. Left foot lifts. Left foot steps. Warrior one. Hands come down, plank pose. And then hips to the sky, downward facing dog or your child's pose. Nice big deep breaths here. Remember to press into your knuckles if you're in your down dog. Inner arms rolling towards your face to open the upper back. And then looking in between your hands to step your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to come into a chair pose and we're going to hold it here. So chair pose, really sinking into those hips. Draw your hands into heart center and you're going to twist your right elbow across your left thigh, pressing your palms together, lifting your heart towards that prayer. Nice big deep breath. And if it's too much, you can always come to a forward fold. If you still have the energy, keeping the bend in your knees, coming back through your chair, or you can forward fold if you need a rest between sides. Drawing your hands back to heart center, twisting left elbow across the right thigh, pressing into the palms, lifting the heart up into the hands. Forward folding at any point when you need rest. Big deep breaths. We're going to come to a rest soon, so if you have it in you, give this shape all the energy you have to give it right now. Either go ahead and come to a forward fold or keeping the knees bent. One more deep inhale and then exhale, forward fold. Really nice. So taking your heels out, your toes out so that your feet are hip distance, letting your head go. Placing your hands on your shins, halfway lift on your inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep it on up to the sky. And then draw your hands to heart center. Close your eyes, check in. How you doing? Sometimes some of that movement can really energize us. And sometimes it really shows us how tired we are. So just getting really keen to knowing the difference. And then go ahead and flutter the eyes open. We're going to come to the floor. So go ahead and grab your block. Have it resting to the side. We're going to set it up for our bridge pose. So the fingertips graze the heels here. And if you're totally cooked, if you're spent, you're going to come back into your supported bridge. So this is a restorative version of the pose we're about to do. Or if you have a lot of energy and you want to use it, pressing down into the heels, lifting up with the thighs. And then exhale, your hips come down to the mat. So we're going to move into a flowing bridge. So again, if you want to take rest, you can place the block underneath your hips, or you're going to press into your heels and lift your arms up and overhead, and then exhale everything down to the mat. So a couple more like that. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale everything down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhaling it down. And then go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. And we'll come in for a reclined twist. So arms come out to the side, letting the knees fall over to the right. Maybe gazing over the left fingertips, maybe placing the right hand over the left thigh, closing the eyes or taking a soft gaze at one point. Coming back through center, switching it to the other side. So the knees fall over to the left. The left hand comes outside the right thigh. Or you can keep that hand extended. Maybe gazing at your right fingertips. And then coming back to center, we'll set it up for our happy baby. So either grabbing the outsides of the feet, or if that doesn't happen, you can grab the backs of the thighs, the backs of the calves. You're gonna send your feet up to the sky as you kind of pull your feet down towards you. So we've all seen a kid kind of wobble in this shape. That's why it's called happy baby. And the more kind of rigorous part of class is over. So really give yourself permission for the next few minutes to really sink into the relaxation, to the kind of more passive part of the practice. So as kind of a lot of us are A-type personalities, we can go, 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 go all the time. And it's really good to take moments in our yoga practice where we really kind of let ourselves just be laying on our mat, breathing and being. So a lot of A-type personalities are drawn to kind of power yoga, a lot of the vinyasa stuff. But it can be really good to slow it down and take rest. A lot of times that's what we really need. Go ahead and release the feet from the hands. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Pull your face up to your knees. Create this little ball. And then release yourself into star pose. So you're going to take a big wide X on your mat. So your arms come up and overhead, your feet come wider than your mat. And we're just going to do a little visualization here. So I want you to really think about all the places you extended yourself today. So all the people you gave your energy to, all the tasks, or maybe if you're just starting your day, all the people you will give your energy to, all the tasks that you have to complete. And then I want you to call all that energy back to your center. So back to your core, your heart, your belly. So keeping your boundaries. So you can still give to other people. You can still do the things you have to do today or that you've done today. But you get to decide how much of yourself you offer. And then we'll set it up for Shavasana, final rest. So the palms come down by the sides, the feet come in a little bit closer. Shoulders roll underneath you. Letting it all go, letting yourself breathe however it feels good to breathe. Letting yourself fall into the mat. Nothing more to do. So if you have more time in your day to rest, I recommend staying here for another 5-10 minutes, just giving yourself over to the floor. Or if you've got to get to and start the day or put the kids to sleep, whatever, go ahead and inhale to lift your arms overhead, pointing your toes towards the front of the room, and then rolling over to one side, making a little pillow for your head. Pressing your palm down into the floor to lift yourself up. Coming to your comfortable seat. Grounding your palms down onto your thighs, lifting your heart up to the sky. So feeling yourself lifting up, rooting down. Eyes closed. So maybe choosing to take this practice of Brahmacharya off the mat by being really aware of what you're giving your energy to this week. So noticing when you overextend yourself, noticing when you're maybe being a little bit lazy or not going after the things that you want to be doing. Knowing that you get to call the shots about what you give your energy to and how you spend your time. Drawing your hands to heart center, bowing your chin into your chest. The light in me acknowledges the light in your beautiful heart. Namaste.